Hey there, welcome to your deep dive. Today we're diving into the world of the divine matrix. We've got excerpts from Gregg Braden's book.
Okay.
And it's a wild ride through quantum physics and ancient wisdom.
Right.
And the power of our beliefs.
It really is.
Are you ready?
You know, what's really interesting is that Braden doesn't just present another feel-good theory.
Right.
He combines science and ancient wisdom to give us a deeper understanding of our place in the universe and ultimately how much power we have.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but let's break this down.
Okay.
What exactly is this divine matrix? Is it like some kind of cosmic control panel?
Not a control panel exactly.
Okay.
Imagine instead a field of pure energy connecting everything that exists.
Okay.
Think of every atom, every thought, every star in the sky.
Right.
We're all ripples in this ocean of energy.
Okay.
The divine part is that this field reacts to our consciousness like a mirror reflecting our beliefs back at us.
So I'm not just looking at reality.
Yeah.
I am a part of this reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, that's a huge shift in thinking.
It is.
Didn't science used to believe everything was separate?
You're right.
Yeah.
That was the prevailing thought for centuries.
Yeah.
Coming from Newtonian physics.
Okay.
But in the early 1900s, quantum physics really shook things up, revealing this connection.
So Braden says that even back then,
Yeah.
some scientists were picking up on this matrix idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Max Planck, one of the pioneers of quantum physics, said there had to be an intelligent mind behind all matter.
Right.
He called it the matrix of all matter.
Wow. That sounds familiar.
It's almost word for word what Braden calls it.
It is.
So this idea has been around, but now we have scientific evidence.
We do.
So we've got this interconnected field.
Right.
But what kind of science is Braden using to really blow the old way of thinking out of the water? Okay, well, he brings in some seriously mind-bending experiments.
Give me an example.
One example is the DNA phantom effect.
Okay.
Think of your DNA,
the
blueprint that makes you as a tiny radio tower sending out signals.
Okay.
A Russian scientist, Vladimir Proponin, discovered that human DNA affects light particles.
Wow.
Even when those particles are far away.
Hold on. My DNA can mess with light from across the room.
Yeah.
That means we're all literally affecting the world around us with our very being.
Exactly.
No wonder we feel those weird connections sometimes.
Right.
But how could that even be possible?
That's the aha moment. It points to something more than just the physical.
Right.
And there's more.
Yeah.
Braden also brings in those declassified U.S. Army experiments on remote viewing.
The ones where they trained soldiers to see things happening far away.
Yeah.
Pretty spooky stuff.
It is. And whether you believe it or not,
the success of those programs adds to the idea that the divine matrix is how this connection is even possible.
Like we're all tuned in on the same frequency.
Exactly.
Okay, this is already getting me thinking differently. But if we're all part of this web, all these little ripples in the divine matrix, how does that actually affect me in my everyday life?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah, it is.
And this is where Braden starts exploring the power of belief.
Okay.
He argues that quantum experiments show that our observation actually changes outcomes. It's not wishful thinking. It's about...
So it's not passively watching, but actively participating and creating through our beliefs.
Exactly. Oh. It's like choosing a channel on the TV of the universe.
Okay.
But instead of a remote, we're using our beliefs.
I like that.
He uses the example of a tumor healing in China.
Okay.
There's footage of practitioners focusing their intent.
And the tumor literally disappears.
Wow.
The key is that the practitioners weren't straining to heal. They were embodying the feeling of her already being healed.
So if this works on tumors, what about other areas of life?
That's the implication.
Yeah.
If this energy field responds to consciousness, even small shifts in our beliefs and emotions can have a ripple effect.
Wow. Okay.
But, and this is important, he also points out it's not always easy.
Right.
He talks about this idea of the dark night of the soul.
You mean like when everything seems to be falling apart?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not talking about suffering for no reason.
Okay.
But a necessary phase where we face our fears so we can break free and create a reality aligned with who we are.
So maybe those tough times are actually showing us what needs to heal.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's all part of the conversation we're having.
Okay.
With the divine matrix.
And our feelings and beliefs are the language it understands.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects.
Yeah.
But how do we actually USE this divine matrix in our lives?
That's where the rubber meets the road and where we'll pick up next time.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Braden emphasizes that the divine matrix is always listening, always responding. Our emotions and beliefs are the language it understands.
Right.
So becoming aware of what we're broadcasting.
Okay, so step one is awareness.
Right.
Are we sending out fear, doubt, or love and abundance?
Right.
But just knowing that isn't enough.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's one thing to understand it, but another to put it into action.
Right.
And that's where ancient practices come in, like meditation, prayer, visualization.
I've tried just thinking positive thoughts.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work.
You've hit on a crucial point.
Okay.
It's not just about thinking.
Right.
It's about feeling. Remember the example of the tumor healing?
Yeah.
The practitioners weren't just thinking about it.
Right.
They were embodying the feeling.
Right. So our heart and mind have to be on the same page.
Yes.
It's not just flipping a switch.
It definitely takes practice.
Right.
It's a process.
So we need to find practices that help us move from fear to love, scarcity to abundance.
Yes.
What about those really tough times?
These challenging times are actually the biggest opportunity to break free from old patterns.
It's like a caterpillar transforming.
Exactly.
But it's got to be hard to focus on gratitude then.
You're right. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But the divine matrix is always listening.
Right.
Even a tiny flicker of hope.
Okay.
A moment of gratitude can shift the energy.
Braden talks about finding even the smallest things.
He does.
To appreciate.
Yeah.
Even just taking a breath.
Right.
Feeling the sun.
It's about those small shifts.
Yeah. Okay.
Every time we choose love over fear,
we
send a powerful message.
So it's like learning a new language.
Exactly.
Language of feeling.
Yeah.
The more fluent we become, the better we can communicate with the divine matrix.
Yes.
But what about manifesting specific things?
Braden says we can...
Like a new job or a healthier relationship.
Yes.
Or winning the lottery.
Well, he says it's not about manipulating the universe.
Right.
It's about aligning ourselves with the energy.
So no more vague wishes.
Exactly.
We need to be clear.
Yes, clarity of intention.
So we set the intention.
Right.
Get clear on what we want.
And then
trust the divine matrix to deliver.
Yeah, it's got it.
Okay.
And don't forget about taking action.
Oh, right. It's not just sitting back and waiting.
It's about recognizing the opportunities and taking steps.
So it's a dance.
That's a great way to put it.
Between intention and action.
It is.
Surrender and effort.
And Braden emphasizes this is an ongoing process.
It's not about reaching a destination.
No, it's about the...
It goes so much deeper than just positive thinking.
It does.
It's about this deeper awareness.
Yeah.
Using our power to create a reality that's aligned with our true selves.
Yes.
This is truly inspiring.
It is.
But I'm still a little fuzzy on the H out of it.
Okay.
Are there specific techniques?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And that's where Braden gets really specific.
Wow.
He provides a step-by-step guide.
Like a user manual.
Almost like a user manual for the divine matrix.
Okay. I'm ready to crack open that manual.
Okay.
What's the first step?
The first step is connecting with the heart.
Okay.
It's about shifting our perspective.
From that old Newtonian view to this quantum understanding.
Exactly.
So we're recognizing that we're not separate.
You got it.
But we are the universe experiencing itself.
That's a great way to put it.
But how do we experience this connection?
Braden suggests a few practices. One is spending time in nature.
Oh, yeah, when you're out in nature, you can really feel that connection.
Exactly.
What other practices?
Another powerful practice is gratitude.
Well,
when we focus on what we appreciate, we shift into a higher vibration.
So it's about training our minds to focus on the good.
Precisely.
Okay.
He suggests making gratitude a daily practice.
I can see how that can shift our energy.
It does.
But what about those times when it's hard to find anything?
Braden emphasizes that even in the darkest moments, there is always something to appreciate.
Even just the breath.
Even the breath.
The roof over our heads.
Yes. By finding even the smallest things, we send a powerful signal.
So it's about seeing the abundance.
Exactly.
Even when things feel scarce.
Yes.
Okay.
And he also talks about forgiveness.
Oh, right. Forgiveness.
Yeah, of ourselves and others.
He says holding on to resentment is like drinking poison.
He does. It's a powerful image.
So forgiveness is about releasing those emotions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got gratitude, forgiveness, connecting with nature.
Right.
What's the next step?
The second step is the language of feeling.
Okay.
This is where we understand how our emotions interact.
So this is where we start to program that cosmic computer.
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
It means becoming aware of our emotional state
Okay.
and consciously choosing our emotions.
So instead of letting our emotions control us,
Right.
we're learning to control our emotions.
You got it.
But how do we actually do that?
You're right. It's not about suppressing them.
Okay.
It's about recognizing them.
Right.
And then choosing to shift them.
So we become emotional alchemists.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Braden gives several techniques for that.
Like what?
One is simply becoming aware of our breath.
Oh, right. When you're feeling stressed.
Exactly.
Taking a few deep breaths can really help.
It can.
Yeah.
He also talks about the power of visualization.
Okay.
Our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference.
Right. Between what's real and what we imagine.
Exactly.
So by visualizing,
Yeah,
we send a powerful signal.
we do.
It's like creating a blueprint for our reality.
Precisely.
And the divine matrix responds
Yes.
by aligning us with what we need.
That's it.
Okay.
And Braden emphasizes engaging all our senses.
Not just seeing it,
Right.
but feeling it, hearing it.
Exactly.
The more real, the better.
The more vivid the visualization,
Yeah.
the more powerful the signal.
What about when our emotions are really intense?
Absolutely. Those are the times they're most important.
Like when we're dealing with grief or fear.
Yes. Braden emphasizes self-compassion.
So it's not about pretending we're not feeling them,
Right.
but acknowledging them and choosing to shift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He says every emotion carries a gift,
Hmm.
a message.
So even negative emotions have something to teach us.
They do.
Okay, this is making sense.
Good.
But I'm curious about the specific techniques.
He talks about a couple of powerful tools. One is heart coherence.
Heart coherence.
Yeah, a state of balance
Okay.
that can be achieved through breathing techniques.
So when our heart is coherent,
Yes,
we radiate a more harmonious frequency.
exactly.
Okay.
He provides instructions for practicing.
I'm definitely going to try that.
Right.
What other techniques?
He also talks about the power of affirmations.
Affirmations, those positive statements
right.
we repeat to ourselves.
They're most effective when stated in the present tense.
So it's not just mindless repetition.
No, it's about embodying the feeling.
Right.
He suggests creating affirmations aligned with our desires.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get this.
Good.
But there's one piece missing for me.
Okay.
Braden talks about the divine matrix as a field of infinite possibilities.
Yes.
But how do we choose which possibility we want?
That's where the third step comes in.
Okay.
The 20 keys of conscious creation.
20 keys. Wow.
They're principles for manifesting.
Okay, let's unlock those keys.
All right.
What's the first one?
The first key is the principle of divine oneness.
Divine oneness.
It's the understanding that we're all interconnected.
Okay, so it's about moving beyond separation.
Yes.
But how does that help us create our reality?
Braden says, when we recognize our oneness, we
Okay.
realize we're not separate from the source.
We are the universe,
You got it.
and we have the power to create.
That brings us to the second key,
Okay,
the mirror principle.
the mirror principle.
The divine matrix acts as a mirror.
Like those mirrors of relationship we talked about.
You got it.
Our outer world is a reflection of our
It
inner
is.
world.
And by changing our beliefs,
Yeah.
we can change our reality.
But what about when we're facing challenges,
Braden says we can...
like illness or poverty?
It's not about denying the reality. It's about shifting our perspective.
So it's about finding that flicker of hope,
Exactly.
even in the midst of chaos.
And that leads us to the third key,
Okay.
the principle of quantum entanglement.
Quantum entanglement, that's a mind bender.
It is.
Remind me, what is that again?
It's the idea that two particles, once connected,
Yeah.
stay connected even when separated.
Like a cosmic game of telephone.
You got it.
Okay.
And Braden says this applies to humans too.
So we're all entangled.
We are.
Our thoughts and emotions create ripple effects.
Exactly.
Whoa, that's a lot to process.
It is.
But how does this help us create our reality?
Braden says by recognizing our interconnectedness,
Okay.
we can consciously use this
To
principle.
send out positive energy,
Right.
knowing it will have a ripple effect.
Exactly.
So we're amplifying our power
Yes.
by tapping into the collective consciousness.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that brings us to the fourth key,
All right, what's next?
the holographic principle.
The holographic principle, another mind-boggling one.
It is.
Remind me what that's all about.
It's the idea that every part of the universe holds information about the whole.
Like a hologram.
Exactly, like a hologram.
Where even a tiny fragment contains information about the whole picture.
Yes, and Braden says this applies to our consciousness.
So we each contain the potential of the whole universe.
Exactly.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
It is.
But how do we access that potential?
Braden says it's about shifting our perspective.
Okay.
Instead of seeing ourselves as limited, we need to recognize our wholeness, our connection to the divine source.
So when we align with this understanding, we tap into unlimited power.
Exactly.
This is seriously inspiring stuff.
It is.
But I'm still feeling overwhelmed.
I understand.
It's like a brand new operating system, and I'm just figuring out how to use it.
Of course.
Are there specific practices?
Yes, that's where the rest of the 20 keys come in.
Okay, so there's more.
They provide practical guidance on everything from setting intentions to taking action.
So it's not just about understanding.
No, it's about embodying them.
Right, integrating them into our lives.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of Braden's approach.
It is. He gives us a practical roadmap.
Okay, so we've got the user manual, the 20 keys to conscious creation.
Yes.
But what about free will?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One that has puzzled many.
If we're all part of this field shaping reality, do we really have free will?
Braden's perspective is interesting.
What does he say?
He doesn't deny free will.
Okay.
But he also recognizes the influence of the divine matrix.
So it's a dance.
It is, like a dance.
Between our choices and those cosmic forces.
He uses the analogy of a river.
Okay.
We can choose our direction, but the river's current influences our journey.
So it's not about being controlled, but learning to work with it.
Exactly.
Aligning our intentions with the flow.
Yes, that's the core of conscious creation.
Recognizing that we're not separate from the creative force.
Right.
We're a part of it.
And when we understand these principles, we can co-create our reality.
This is really shifting my perspective.
Good.
It's like moving from feeling powerless to an empowered state.
Where we recognize our ability to shape our reality.
Right.
And it's also about embracing the mystery.
The unknown.
Yes. The divine matrix is vast and infinite.
Okay.
Our understanding will always be evolving.
I can feel that shift within me.
That's great.
It's like a whole new world of possibilities.
It is.
But how do we translate this understanding?
That's where the true magic happens.
Yeah.
The transformation from theory to practice.
Okay.
Braden gives us a series of techniques for grounding these principles.
To actually experience the effects.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll explore those practical tools next time.
Okay. Looking forward to it. All right, I'm ready to dive into the Hey W.
Okay.
We've laid the groundwork, understanding this field of energy that responds to our consciousness. But knowing is one thing.
It is.
Actually putting it into action.
Right.
What are some practical tools?
Braden gives us some great techniques. They all revolve around what he calls conscious prayer.
Now, when I hear prayer, I think of, kneeling, pleading for things to change.
Right, but Braden's talking about something different. Yeah. He sees prayer as a conscious dialogue with the divine matrix.
So not begging for it.
Right.
But aligning ourselves with the flow.
Exactly.
Like co-creating with the universe.
He outlines 5 steps for what he calls the lost mode of prayer.
The lost mode of prayer.
The first step is to shift from asking for things to feeling grateful as if they've already happened.
So gratitude's a key part.
It is.
But it's not just about what we have. It's about feeling grateful for what we're creating.
Moving our focus from lack to abundance.
It's not pretending we already have it.
No.
It's feeling grateful as if it's on its way.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that brings us to the second step.
All right.
Connecting with a higher power.
Now, this doesn't have to be a specific deity or anything.
It can be any force or energy you resonate with.
So nature, the universe,
yeah,
even our own higher self.
Exactly.
The important thing is connecting to something larger.
It is.
I can feel that sense of connection just thinking about it.
That's the next step.
Okay.
The third step is to clearly state our intention.
So this is where we get specific.
Yes, but from a place of gratitude.
Not making demands.
Right.
But expressing our desires.
With clarity and trust.
Like planting a seed and trusting it to grow.
Exactly.
Okay, and then...
The fourth step is where the magic happens.
All right, what is it?
We have to genuinely feel the feelings as if our prayer has been answered.
But how do we generate those feelings?
Braden suggests using our imagination.
Our imagination.
Picture yourself experiencing it as if it's already happening.
Right. Our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference.
Exactly.
So we're sending a powerful signal. It's like creating a blueprint.
That's it.
Through our imagination.
And Braden emphasizes engaging all our senses.
So not just seeing it, but feeling it, hearing it.
The more vivid the visualization, the stronger the signal.
This is really inspiring.
What
about the fifth step?
The fifth step is to release our prayer.
Release it.
With gratitude and trust.
So letting go of the need to control.
Yes, surrendering to the universe.
It's like a paradox.
It is.
Setting an intention, but then letting go.
Trusting that the divine matrix knows best.
So it's not always about getting what we think we want.
Right. The divine matrix has a broader perspective.
Okay, so we set the intention. And then surrender to the wisdom of the universe.
And take inspired action.
Oh, right. It's not just sitting back and waiting.
It's about recognizing opportunities.
And taking steps.
We're co-creating.
A dance between intention and action.
Beautifully put.
Surrender and effort.
And Braden says this is an ongoing process.
It's a journey.
It is.
Not a destination.
This is so much more than positive thinking.
It really is.
It's about tapping into a deeper awareness.
Yeah.
And using that power to create
a reality aligned with our true selves.
And recognizing we're not alone in this.
Right. We're all interconnected.
We are part of this web of energy.
This has been incredible.
It has.
We've gone from the science to practical techniques.
It's just the beginning.
It is. There's so much more to explore.
I think the most important takeaway is that you have the power
to choose the reality we experience.
Start small, practice the techniques.
Feel the gratitude.
Yes, gratitude for the life you're creating.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
On this deep dive into the divine matrix.
Until next time.
Keep diving.